There are many issues bedeviling the country, but top on the list is insecurity, especially as Nigeria prepares for the 2023 general elections. Because apart from the deaths, the kidnappings, and the destructions, democracy cannot thrive without a secure, sovereign national space. So my guest tonight is SP Benjamin Hundeyin. He is a PPRO Police Command Lagos. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Now, insecurity is at a level that Nigerians have not seen it for a very long time. And the kind of violence Nigerians witnessed during the last elections has created so much fear in the hearts of Nigerians. Major reason why some of them stayed away from the polls in the last election, and another major reason why many of them will stay away this time. What assurances are you giving to Nigerians that their lives will be secured and that their votes will be safe during the 2023 elections?
Okay, thank you very much. But I'm going to be restricting my answers to Lagos State Police Command, for which I speak. So I wouldn't go beyond that scope. Your assertion that security or insecurity has never been this worse or this bad, has never been this bad, is actually wrong. It used to be worse than this. Things are getting better, things are improving. And your projection that the coming election, people might not want to come out to vote because of insecurity is also something I would describe as a wrong projection. Because for us, we are putting in everything. We've learned from past experiences, we've learned from past election, and we have put modalities in place to ensure that people can come out to vote, at least in Lagos State. And the election is going to be free and fair and credible.
All right, well, I find it curious to hear you say that things have been worse than this in Nigeria in terms of insecurity. I haven't experienced it. You know, a situation where Nigerians can't travel at night anymore. They're afraid. Nigerians can't move around anymore. Doing business in Nigeria has become so risky. Foreigners are leaving the country like never seen before. And then the 2019 elections, Okata Oshodi was horrible. The last local government elections in Lagos, Surulere was so bad that cultists were said to have seized the 9 words, the ballot boxes. You go to Abeson, same thing played out. So I don't know how these could be dismissed.
Okay, we're not dismissing anything, but a time there was in this country that bus parks went up in flames, explosion. The time there was that the UN building in Nigeria was attacked. The time there was that you could not gather anywhere because there was the risk that a bomb would go off. But now people gather, people do answers, people protest. So security is actually improving. It's not as bad as it used to be. Now, you've mentioned Okota, you mentioned Surulere, that a total of 9 words. 9 words. Yes, it sounds crazy, 9 words. But the fact remains that if you look at it in terms of percentage, 9 words out of how many words, you would discover that it's probably 8% of the total number of words that got attacked. Irrespective of that, it's still like maybe less than 10%. I'm not saying it's okay for something to happen somewhere, but I'm saying that doesn't reach that alarming stage. And it's almost impossible to have a perfect situation, to have a perfect election in any country in the world. So you would have skirmishes, but what we are saying is that we've learned from previous skirmishes, and this time around, we're going to ensure that we have fewer skirmishes this time around, so that people can actually applaud us at the end of the election.
Hopefully. Well, UN police to citizen ratio is 1 to 450 persons. Nigeria has been reported to have the lowest police to citizen ratio in the world. The data I have as at 2018 shows that the Nigerian police, you have 221,936 personnel, and Nigerian population this year stands at 217,359,636. And Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, chairman of INEC, made us to realize recently that you'll be having 176,846 polling units. How is the police going to man these units effectively?
So the good thing about elections in Nigeria now is that many of these elections have become staggered. Like we don't have gubernatorial elections in Nigeria in all 36 states at the same time. For various reasons, we have it at different times. So it has made it easy for us to deploy men from one state to another state for election duties. We've had police officers move from Lagos to Ekiti State to Osun State for election duties. So for us too, in Lagos State, when we are having elections, we expect that we're going to get support from police officers in other states. And it's not just about the police, election security. All security agencies are involved. So yes, police will be playing the primary role, but other agencies are involved. And in the absence of adequate manpower, logistics are there. We have other resources we could use. The number of people a water cannon would disperse is way more than the number of people a man would disperse. So we are making use of other alternatives. We have our riot equipment. We are also making use of information and communication technology. Our ICT department is there. It's thriving. So we're making the best of what we have. And it's also reassuring that Mr. President approved the recruitment of 10,000 policemen on a yearly basis. And we've been doing that. And this year again, we've commenced. In fact, as I speak to you, we have them in the colleges, police colleges undergoing training, and another set we are preparing for. So it's work in progress. But so far with what we have, it's not alarming. If it was alarming, we would have raised the alarm. We would have gone to the president to say, state of emergency, you need to do something. It's not alarming. Yes, we know it can be better, but we are working with the logistics we have to make things work for us.
So are you going to synergize with other paramilitary agencies, the media? Do you have such plans?
We've always done that. And what we intend to do this time around is to improve on that, to consolidate on that. So all security agencies, we have our own forum for INEC and for elections with INEC to make sure that the elections turn out fine. We also work with the media. We also work with political parties. There is IPAC, the Inter-Party Advisory Council. We also work with INEC and everybody to ensure that long before the election starts, long before it starts, we work together to fine-tune our plans to make sure that everything works out fine.
Oh, well, there have been clamor by many for state police. What is the view of the Nigerian police on this?
Well, for us, we are law enforcement officers. We enforce the law. We don't make the law. We only enforce existing laws. So the constitution of the country right now says there shall be one police force, shall be known as Nigerian Police Force, and there shall be no other police force. So the moment Nigerians can sponsor a bill and there is public hearing and the House of Representatives hears the bill, first hearing, second hearing like they do, and they pass it and the Senate does the same, and Mr. President assents to the bill and it becomes law, we are duty bound to enforce that law. But as it stands now, it's for the people, because this is a government of the people, for the people, and by the people.
Oh, well, the police welfare, how has that improved since the NSAS protest? It was one of the things that Nigerians clamored for. Nigerians were not just against the brutality by the police. Nigerians were also mindful that the Nigerian police have not had the best, in terms of welfare. It was part of what they fought for. Has that improved since the NSAS protest?
Okay, that's a question I would have loved the first PRO to answer. Abuja, it goes beyond Lagos, but I would say a few things about that. Yes, especially since the current IG came on board, IGP Usman Alkali Baba, FDC, NPM. Since he came on board, he has done a lot. Now, welfare goes beyond just one thing. There are a couple of things that make up welfare. So he has done a lot. I know for certain that since he came on board, there's been regular distribution of kits, of uniforms. Not just the material, even the belt, the lanyard, the buttons, shoes, and all the uniforms. The black, the blue, the camouflage, he's been doing that. And whenever our police officers leave their duty posts or their states where they are serving to go elsewhere, maybe for election duties, they get paid promptly. I'm talking about their allowances. They get paid promptly. And they don't have to find their way to that place for special duty or election duty. They don't have to cater for their own accommodation and feeding. Everything is taken care of. So those are parts. That's part of welfare. So it's been improving. There's room for more as we
What
speak.
about the barracks? The states of the barracks have been in horrible disrepair. You go to the barracks and you just can't believe this is where our police people live with their family members. I saw it. Has that improved?
Okay, so we pushed for the creation of Police Trust Fund, and with the support of Nigerians, it was created. It was created. It is statutory, Police Trust Fund, and it was created basically, specifically to take care of these needs, like accommodation and the rest. And they've started work. They've set up. Mr. President appointed a head for the fund and other principal staff, and they've started work. Just last month, the fund officials of the fund visited Lagos State Command on a fact-finding mission to actually see the needs of the police in Lagos. So they visited the barracks. They also came to the headquarters. They met with the CP. What would you want to be more effective? The CP2 rolled out the things he would need, patrol vehicles, arms and ammunition, and communication gadgets and all that. So they are compiling, not just Lagos, different states. The funds are there. It's just how to make use of it. So they are compiling, and we are pretty positive that very soon we'll start seeing the results of their visits and things would improve.
Well, still staying with the issue of the welfare, because we all know that a happy policeman is a more effective policeman, is a more friendly policeman. Nigerians have been told over time, the police is your friend. Most times Nigerians don't get to see them that friendly. And part of the reasons why they're clamoring for their welfare is to ensure that they are at their best, so that they can give their best and actually be friendly to Nigerians. So one of the things I heard over time is that when a police officer dies, the way the family is treated and kicked out of the barracks, very, very pathetic. Is it true? If it's not true, why do we hear such rumors? And if it is true, has anything been done to change that?
The way police officers are kicked out, I don't know if you've...
Their family, their wives and children.
They're not given enough time to mourn, recover, and then resettle. They're given just a few number of days to get out of the barracks.
Well, I don't know if you have actually interviewed the relatives of any deceased police officer who corroborated this story, but as much as the civilian populace appear not to like us, we can't afford to now be hostile to our own, and so we are not that inhuman and all that, but still we do everything within our means to make things better. Like when a police officer dies, I know that there are several payments made to the family. I know this because I've seen families come get their check. Just last week, a family came to get their check. We have every policeman is insured. Every policeman's life is insured. Mm-hmm. So if a policeman dies, insurance is paid out to the family. Then there are other benefits that are paid out. So we try our best to improve on these things, especially the current IGP is doing a lot. So the accommodation thing, I wouldn't know. I'm yet to see somebody corroborate that story to me. But we try to be nice to our own and make sure that the family gets succor when this happens.
What would you say to an average Nigerian regarding this issue of the Nigerian police being his or her friend? And is the police doing anything to encourage their men to be more friendly?
I don't need to go the extra mile to assure anybody. It's there. The police is your friend. And I get testimonies every day from people who have had cases resolved by the police. So it's there. Well, I can't deny the fact that some people have horrible experiences when they meet the police or when they have any reason to go to the police station or have anything to do with the police. Yes. But still, we speak to our men every day. We talk to them every day. We lecture them every day on best practices. And many of them heed these lectures, these advice and everything. So it's work in progress. Nothing will change overnight. It's work in progress. And from statistics available to me, I know things are getting better. I know things are getting better. A time there was, especially in my early days as PRO in Lagos State, you know, I would get reports of police harassment every day. Like police harassed me today, police harassed me today, every day, and with picture evidence, video evidence. But that has gone down, actually. I still get it, but maybe once in a week or once in 2 weeks. So things are getting better. And now I've made people comfortable enough to share their experiences. So people now come to say, oh, but let's be truthful. Oh, I passed yesterday and I passed through 5 checkpoints and not one of them harassed me. People now come out to tell these stories. So it has encouraged others too to say, okay, let me not just be initially hostile when I see police officers. Now people admit that, oh, it's true. When I see them, I'm just hostile. I'm just like, what? Like, okay, let's be calm and let's hear them out first. And people come out and say, oh, it's worked. I was just polite. Good afternoon, sir. Okay, where's your paper? Okay, you can go. So it's getting better. The trust gap is closing up, and we need to do more in that regard. So again, police is your friend. For those that are yet to believe, it's just a matter of time. Everybody will become a convert. Everybody will believe that saying. Not just believe, they will see it play out. So police is your friend.
Now, I wonder if you want to comment on what has been trending regarding what the police public relations officer Adejobi said recently, that civilians cannot retaliate against a policeman who's assaulted him or her.
Ordinarily, you should have asked him this question because he said it, not me. But still, I will talk about it because he did a rejoinder the next day. He did a comprehensive press statement concerning that issue, explaining his stand and decrying the fact that the media twist his words and try to make it look like the police was insensitive, or try to make it look like he was encouraging police officers to brutalize and assault Nigerians. No. But he is saying from his statement that a police officer, especially, those were his words, especially in uniform, is representing the country. He's not representing his village. He's representing the country. So if a policeman assaults you, which is totally wrong, there are ways to seek redress. But beating that policeman has gone beyond beating the man. You are attacking the symbol of the country. His uniform carries 2 badges on each sleeve saying Nigeria Police. It is not his personal police. So you are attacking the symbol of authority. And that was saying, and yes, the police officer might actually get sanctioned for assault, but that would not excuse that person from being prosecuted for assaulting a police officer. And the punishment for that is 3 years. It's very clear. So that's what he was saying. And I think people should be patient enough to see through his words and not misconstrue his words.
Well, the aspiration of every Nigerian is to see a free, fair, and secure elections in 2023. And you're saying on behalf of the police that you're ready, the Lagos State Command, that you are ready to give that to Nigerians.
Yes. We have done crime mapping. Crime mapping means identifying all the vulnerable spots, all the flashpoints in the states. So we've done that. So we know where to deploy our logistics and the amount of logistics to deploy where. So optimal and judicious deployment of our resources will be done. We've mapped it out. We've broken it into phases: pre-election phase, election phase, and post-election phase. So we're very ready. We have a lot of experiences to look at, to learn from. We've done this over and over again. We've done it in other states. So we are prepared. We are like PhD students. We have been doing our research. So next year is going to be our final thesis. And we are going to be defending our thesis next year. And we are pretty confident that we will come out fine. So elections in Lagos next year, there won't be any problem.
Well, SP Benjamin Hundeyin, thank you so much for your time and insight.
Thank you very much.
And this is where we draw the curtain on today's program. Join us again next time. I am Maureen Minong Rizigwe. Good evening.